Yo, 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 what's good, fam? Your boy's back with the most diabolical, most addicting, most how did they even pull this off breakdown in hip-hop history. We talking about the hook that made enemies dance, Kendrick's Not Like Us opening strategy. This is the story of how DJ Mustard's innocent, funky beat became the soundtrack to Drake's career getting murdered. And the wildest part, Mustard had no idea. And I'm telling you right now, this story is so crazy, so unbelievable, so absolutely insane that when I first heard it, I had to fact check it 3 times because what actually happened is even more diabolical than what we all thought happened. Kendrick turned a party anthem into a weapon of mass destruction, and today I'm about to show you how an accidental collaboration became the most legendary diss track production in hip-hop history. If you're ready for the most high energy, evidence-packed, and straight up hilarious deep dive you ever heard, smash that like, hit subscribe, and let's get into it. Because this story has more layers than an onion, more twists than a pretzel, more plot than a Christopher Nolan movie. Let's set the scene because the context is everything. The beef is at a boiling point. Drake's out here thinking he's untouchable, thinking he's the king, thinking nobody can touch him. Kendrick's been quiet, calculating, planning his attack. The rap world is waiting. Social media is on edge. Everyone's asking, when is Kendrick gonna respond? What's he gonna say? How's he gonna come back? And then, boom, May 4th, 2024. Not Like Us drops like a nuclear bomb. But before Kendrick even spits a bar, before you even hear a word, you hear it. Mustard on the beat, ho.
That's Drake's house!
Oh shit.
Mustard on the beat, ho. Any rap nigga, he a freak.
Not DJ Mustard!
DJ Mustard is in this too!
Mustard, you in this too?
Man down, call like Amber Lambs, tell him breathe, bro.
Nigga's about to kill someone on a mustard beat.
Now, that's not just a tag, that's a warning. That's like hearing the Jaws theme before the shark shows up. That's like hearing the Mortal Kombat finish him before the fatality. That's like hearing the Law and Order dun dun before someone gets arrested. You know something's about to go down. And the wildest part? The second that tag hits, everybody's head starts nodding. Even Drake fans, even people who were defending Drake 5 seconds ago. The beat is so infectious, so funky, so West Coast, you can't help but move. It's like Mustard laced the track with dance floor crack. It's like he put a spell on the beat that makes your body move against your will. Drake fans were out here trying to hate, but their feet were betraying them. Their hips were moving, their heads were bobbing. Now, at first, we all assumed that Kendrick and Mustard planned this together. We thought they sat down and said, let's make the funkiest diss track ever. Let's make Drake's funeral a party. But here's the truth that makes this story even crazier. A subscriber hit me up with the receipts, and the truth is even more diabolical than I thought. Mustard gave an interview and he said, and I quote, "I had no idea he used that particular beat because I've been sending him beats that he never uses. I was in my car when I was told that he was dropping Not Like Us using my beat. I had no idea he would use it as a diss track." Y'all, let me repeat that because it's insane. Mustard had no idea. Kendrick didn't even tell the producer. Mustard was just out here living his best life, probably driving to get some tacos or something, and suddenly his phone starts blowing up. People are calling him like, "Yo, your beat is on Kendrick's Drake diss." And Mustard is like, "What? Which beat? When did this happen? I didn't know anything about this." Imagine being Mustard in that moment. You're just driving, minding your business, and suddenly you find out you're part of the biggest hip-hop moment of the decade. You're part of history. Your beat is the soundtrack to the most savage career assassination in hip-hop history, and you had no idea it was coming. That's like waking up and finding out you accidentally won the lottery. That's like discovering you're in a movie you didn't know you were filming. That's like finding out you're famous and nobody told you. The shock must have been incredible. The confusion must have been real. Mustard probably had to pull over because he couldn't process what was happening. And here's what makes it even more crazy. Mustard said he'd been sending Kendrick beats for years and Kendrick never used them. Mustard was probably thinking, man, Kendrick doesn't like my beats. He's not feeling my sound. And then, out of nowhere, Kendrick takes one of those beats and uses it to create the most legendary diss track of all time. Mustard went from thinking, Kendrick doesn't mess with my production, to my beat just ended Drake's career in the span of one phone call. The emotional whiplash must have been insane. Now, let's break down why this accidental collaboration is actually genius, because the fact that Mustard didn't know makes this even more diabolical.
Freaky ass nigga, here 69 God.
Freaky ass nigga. Hey.
Run for
This
your
beat
life.
hard, bro.
Now let's break down why this accidental collaboration is actually genius. Because the fact that Mustard didn't know makes this even more diabolical. First, there's the element of surprise. Even the producer was shocked. If Mustard didn't know, that means Drake definitely didn't know. That means Drake's team didn't know. Nobody knew what was coming. Kendrick kept this so secret that he didn't even tell the person who made the beat. That's operational security at the highest level. That's CIA level secrecy. That's keeping your cards so close to your chest that even your dealer doesn't know what you're holding. This means Drake had no warning. He couldn't prepare. He couldn't get ahead of it. He couldn't strategize. By the time he found out, the track was already out and the internet was already going crazy. That's strategic genius. That's understanding that in modern warfare, surprise is everything. That's knowing that if you give your enemy even a second to prepare, they might find a way to counter. Second, there's Kendrick's selection process. Think about this. Mustard had been sending Kendrick beats for years. That means Kendrick had a whole library of Mustard beats to choose from. And out of all those beats, Kendrick picked this one for destruction. Why? Because it was the last thing anyone expected. Nobody expects a diss track to sound like a party. Nobody expects a career assassination to have people dancing. Nobody expects psychological warfare to be funky. Kendrick looked at this beat and saw something nobody else saw. He saw a weapon disguised as a celebration. He saw a Trojan horse. He saw a way to make Drake's destruction into a cultural moment. That's vision. That's creativity. That's seeing possibilities that nobody else can see. Most rappers would have picked an aggressive beat, something dark and menacing, something that sounds like a diss track. But Kendrick said, nah, I'm gonna pick the funkiest beat in the folder. I'm gonna make this a party. I'm gonna make people dance while I destroy this man's career. That's genius. That's thinking outside the box. That's revolutionizing what a diss track can be. Third, there's the accidental warfare aspect. The fact that Mustard didn't know he was making a weapon makes this even more powerful. Because Mustard made this beat with pure intentions. He wasn't trying to help Kendrick destroy Drake. He was just trying to make people dance. He was trying to make a vibe. He was trying to create something positive. And Kendrick took that positive energy and weaponized it. He took something innocent and turned it into a tool of destruction. That's like taking a water gun and somehow turning it into a bazooka. That's like taking a birthday cake and turning it into a bomb. The transformation is incredible. And because the beat was made with innocent intentions, it has this purity to it. It doesn't sound malicious. It doesn't sound aggressive. It sounds fun. And that's what makes it so devastating. Because you're getting destroyed, but the soundtrack is making you want to dance. Your career is ending, but the beat is making you want to celebrate. The cognitive dissonance is powerful. Your brain doesn't know how to process it. It's like getting punched in the face while someone's playing Happy Birthday. Fourth, there's the producer psychology. Mustard's reaction to finding out his beat was used is hilarious and revealing. He was like, wait, I'm part of history now? I just wanted to make people dance, not end careers. Mustard went from being a successful producer to being the guy who accidentally helped end Drake's career. His legacy changed in one moment. Before Not Like Us, Mustard was known for club bangers. Rack City, My Hitta, or Nah, these are party songs. These are songs you play when you're trying to have a good time. After Not Like Us, Mustard is known as the guy who made the beat that destroyed Drake. That's a whole different legacy. And he didn't even plan it. He didn't even know it. He's an accidental legend. That's like accidentally inventing something that changes the world. That's like stumbling into greatness. That's like becoming a hero without trying. Kendrick turned Mustard into an unwitting accomplice, and the result was legendary. Now let's get into the strategy, because this is where Kendrick's genius really shows. Kendrick took a beat designed to make people dance and used it to make Drake's enemies celebrate his destruction. Even Mustard didn't see this coming. The irony is wild. Think about what Kendrick accomplished here. He took a party beat and turned it into a murder weapon. He took something designed to bring joy and used it to bring pain. That's psychological warfare at the highest level. That's understanding human psychology. That's knowing how to manipulate emotions. Because here's what happens when you hear "Not Like Us." Your body wants to dance because the beat is funky.
This is a bomb!
Then stab this way, stab that way, then stab this way. Be my friend.
Because here's what happens when you hear "Not Like Us." Your body wants to dance because the beat is funky, but your brain is processing these devastating bars about Drake. So you're physically moving and enjoying yourself while mentally absorbing the complete destruction of someone's career. It's like your body and your brain are having two different experiences at the same time, and that conflict makes the message stick even harder. If the beat was aggressive and dark, people might listen once and move on. But because the beat is catchy and fun, people listen to it over and over. They play it at parties, they dance to it, they make TikToks to it, and every single time they hear it, they're reinforcing the message that Drake is finished. They're celebrating his defeat. They're dancing on his grave. That's genius. That's understanding that the best way to destroy someone isn't with aggression, it's with celebration. It's making their downfall into a party. Drake's fans were out here dancing to their own funeral and didn't even realize it. That's like showing up to your own roast and bringing the snacks. That's like getting dunked on and then celebrating with the other team. The disrespect is legendary. Imagine being a Drake fan. You hear "Not Like Us" and the beat is so funky that you can't help but nod your head. Your foot starts tapping, your body starts moving, and then you realize, wait, this song is destroying my favorite artist. Why am I dancing? But you can't stop. The beat is too infectious. The groove is too strong. Your body has betrayed you. You're literally dancing to your own L. You're celebrating your own defeat. You're partying at your own funeral. The psychological torture is incredible. The cognitive dissonance is real. You want to be mad, but the beat won't let you. That's like trying to be angry while someone's tickling you. That's like trying to be serious while you're on a roller coaster. Your emotions are in conflict, and that conflict makes the message even more powerful because you can't escape it. You can't ignore it. The beat forces you to engage with it. Let's talk about the technical genius of this beat, because understanding the production is key to understanding why it works so well. Mustard's signature sound is that ratchet funk fusion. It's a style he pioneered. It's a sound that's instantly recognizable. You got the bouncy drums that make you want a two-step. These aren't just any drums. These are West Coast drums. These are drums with bounce. These are drums with pocket. The kick drum is hitting on the 1 and 3, giving you that foundation. That's what makes your head nod. That's what makes your chest thump. The snare is hitting on the 2 and 4 with that snap. That's what makes you want to clap. That's what gives the beat its energy. You got the rolling hi-hats that create movement. They're not just keeping time, they're creating a groove. They're making the beat breathe. And that bass line? Oh man, that bass line. It hits you in the chest like a Kendrick punchline. It's not just low frequencies, it's a melody, it's a hook, it's something you can sing. The bass is doing this walking pattern that makes you want to move. It's hitting those sub-frequencies that you feel in your body. It's not just something you hear, it's something you experience. The BPM is perfect. It's sitting at around 98 BPM. That's just fast enough to make you want to get up and move, but just slow enough to let Kendrick breathe and drop those surgical bars. If it was faster, Kendrick wouldn't have room to let his bars land. If it was slower, it wouldn't have the energy. But at 98 beats per minute, it's the perfect balance. This ain't just a beat, it's a groove, it's a vibe, it's a whole West Coast block party in a bottle. And here's what makes it genius for a diss track. The the beat has space. There are moments where the instrumentation pulls back and lets Kendrick's voice be the focus. When Kendrick says certified pedophile, the beat gives it room. When he says oh v ho, the beat lets it breathe. When he drops those devastating bars, the production gets out of the way. That's masterful production. That's understanding that sometimes less is more. That's knowing when to step back and let the artist shine. Most producers want to fill every second with sound. They want to show off their skills. They want to make sure you know they're there. But Mustard understands that the best production serves the song. It doesn't compete with the artist, it elevates them. And the fact that he made this beat without knowing it would be used for a diss track makes it even more perfect. Because he wasn't trying to make it aggressive, he wasn't trying to make it dark, he was just trying to make it funky. And that funk is what makes it so devastating, because it's the last thing you expect. It catches you off guard.
Hey, 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 run for your life. Hey, 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 run for your life. Let me hear you say O-V-ho. O-V-ho.
Niggas gon' say that!
Now let's talk about the producer tag psychology, because this is crucial to understanding why the track works so well. When you hear, you know it's about to be funky. That tag is like Pavlov's bell for hip-hop heads. It primes your brain for movement. Over the years, Mustard has conditioned us. Every time we hear that tag, we expect a certain type of song. We expect something we can dance to. We expect something positive. Rack City, party anthem. My Hitter, club banger. Or nah, bedroom vibes. Every Mustard beat is associated with good times, with celebration, with fun. So when you hear Mustard on the beat, ho, at the beginning of Not Like Us, your brain is already primed for a party. You're already expecting something positive. It's not just branding, it's a declaration. It's a promise. It's saying, get ready to move because this beat is about to make you do things you didn't plan on doing. The tag signals party time, not battle time. It signals celebration, not destruction. It signals dance floor, not murder scene. But Kendrick flipped it. He took that expectation and subverted it. He made it party time and battle time. He made it celebration and assassination. He made it dance floor and crime scene. The brain expects groove, but gets destruction. That's how you catch your opponent slipping. That's psychological warfare. That's like offering someone a handshake and then pulling them into a headlock. Your brain is saying, this is a party song, but the lyrics are saying, this is a murder. And that conflict is what makes it so powerful. It's like watching a horror movie with a happy soundtrack. It's like getting bad news delivered in a cheerful voice. The contrast makes it even more impactful. And because Mustard didn't know this was a diss track, the tag is delivered with the same energy as all his other tracks. There's no hint of aggression. There's no warning of what's coming. It's just Mustard on the beat, ho! Same as always. Same cheerful delivery. Same promise of a good time. And then Kendrick comes in and destroys Drake's entire existence while everyone's dancing. The deception is incredible. The misdirection is masterful. The strategy is genius. Drake's fans were out here dancing to their own funeral and didn't even realize it. They were celebrating their own L. They were two-stepping to their own defeat. That's like showing up to your own roast and bringing the snacks. That's like getting dunked on and then doing the celebration dance with the other team. That's like getting knocked out and then giving your opponent a standing ovation. The cognitive dissonance is hilarious. Drake fans were trying to defend him online while their bodies were betraying them. Their fingers were typing, Drake won, but their feet were doing the shuffle. Their mouths were saying, Kendrick is overrated, but their hips were swaying. You can't fight a beat this funky. You can't resist a groove this infectious. Mustard made it impossible to hate. Even if you wanted to support Drake, your body wouldn't let you. Let's talk about the dance floor warfare, because this is where the genius really becomes apparent. The genius of this production is that it weaponized joy. While Kendrick was ending Drake's career, the beat made everyone celebrate it. That's psychological warfare at the highest level. Think about every other diss track in hip-hop history. They're aggressive, they're angry, they're dark. They're designed to make you feel the hostility. Hit 'Em Up by Tupac, Rage, Ether by Nas, Venom, No Vaseline by Ice Cube, Fury. These tracks make you feel the anger. They make you understand the beef. They're sonic representations of conflict, but not like us. It makes you want to dance. It makes you want to party. It makes you want to celebrate. And that's revolutionary. That's changing the game. That's redefining what a diss track can be. Because by making it a dance track, Kendrick ensured that it would be played everywhere. Not just on hip-hop radio, not just in rap circles, everywhere. DJs started spinning this in clubs, not just hip-hop clubs, all clubs, pop clubs, EDM clubs, Latin clubs.
They tell me Chill's the only one that get your hand-me-down. Party at the party playing with his nose now.
So infectious. It transcends genre. It transcends culture. TikTok blew up with dance challenges, not just from hip-hop fans, from everyone, from teenagers, from adults, from people who don't even listen to rap. People were creating choreography. People were doing the shuffle. People were making it their own. And every single one of those videos was spreading Kendrick's message. Every dance challenge was reinforcing that Drake got destroyed. Athletes started celebrating to Drake's destruction. NBA players were using it as their walkout music. NFL players were celebrating touchdowns to it. LeBron James posted about it. Professional athletes across all sports were using this as their anthem. And what were they celebrating? Drake's defeat.
Oh yeah, he turned the whole LA up with this shit.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
And what were they celebrating? Drake's defeat. They were dancing on Drake's grave. They were partying at Drake's funeral. Even international audiences got in on the action. People in Japan were dancing to it. People in Brazil were vibing to it. People in Europe were getting down to it. This is the first time in history a diss track became a global dance phenomenon. That's not just a win, that's a flex. That's not just victory, that's domination. That's like winning a war and then throwing a parade. That's like defeating your enemy and then making their defeat into a holiday. That's like destroying someone and then making the whole world celebrate it. And the most diabolical part? Kendrick made Drake's fans dance to their own hero's funeral, and Mustard had no idea he was providing the soundtrack to a murder. That's like being the DJ at a party and realizing you just played the song that got the birthday boy kicked out. That's like being the band on the Titanic and not realizing the ship is sinking. The cognitive dissonance is real. Drake's fans were out here two-stepping to their own L. That's like showing up to a cookout and realizing you the main course. Imagine being a Drake stan. You're at the club, Not Like Us comes on. The beat is so funky that you start dancing. You're having a great time. You're vibing. You're in the zone. And then someone next to you is like, you know the song is about Drake getting destroyed, right? And you're like, wait, what? I'm dancing to my favorite artist's funeral? But you can't stop dancing. The beat won't let you. Your body has a mind of its own. So you're stuck there, dancing to your own L, looking foolish, unable to stop. That's torture. That's psychological warfare. That's the kind of thing that keeps you up at night. Let's talk about the psychology of why this works so well, because there's actual science behind this. Beats override lyrical content emotionally. This is a documented psychological phenomenon. Your brain processes music and lyrics in different ways. The beat hits your limbic system, the emotional, instinctive part of your brain. It makes you feel before you think. The lyrics hit your cerebral cortex, the rational, analytical part of your brain. It makes you think after you feel. So when you hear Not Like Us, your limbic system responds to the beat first. It says, this is funky, this makes me want to move, this is positive. And then your cerebral cortex processes the lyrics. It says, wait, these are devastating bars, this is destruction, this is negative. But by that point, your body is already moving. Your emotions are already engaged. You're already in the groove, and it's hard to override that initial emotional response. Your rational brain is saying, stop dancing, this is a diss track, but your emotional brain is saying, but it feels so good. That's why people can't help but dance to Not Like Us, even if they're Drake fans, because the beat hijacks their emotions before their logic can catch up. You can be getting roasted, but if the beat is funky, you can't help but move. That's why this track hits so hard. It's not just about the words, it's about the feeling. And the feeling is positive, even though the message is destructive. That contradiction is what makes it so powerful. Your brain is experiencing two opposite emotions at the same time, and that creates a memorable, impactful experience. Mustard's unwitting participation in warfare made the destruction even sweeter, because he made the beat with pure intentions. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone, he was just trying to make people happy. And Kendrick took that happiness and weaponized it. He took that joy and turned it into a tool of destruction. That's like taking someone's kindness and using it against them. That's like taking someone's gift and turning it into a weapon. The irony is beautiful. The poetry is incredible. The strategy is genius. Kendrick used joy to amplify destruction. He used celebration to enhance devastation. He used dance to spread defeat. That's next level manipulation. That's understanding human psychology at a fundamental level. That's knowing how to use emotions as weapons. And shout out to my subscriber who sent me that interview. This is why I love this community. Y'all keep me honest. Y'all send me the receipts. Y'all make sure I'm telling the truth. When I first made content about this track, I assumed that Kendrick and Mustard planned this together. That seemed like the logical conclusion. But then a subscriber hit me up with the actual interview where Mustard explains what really happened. And I was like, yo, this changes everything. Because the truth makes this story even more incredible. It shows Kendrick's strategic mind at work. It shows his ability to see possibilities that nobody else sees. Fact-checking matters. Getting the story right matters. And sometimes the truth is even more amazing than what we assume.
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show. Certified boogeyman, I'm the one that up the skull. Walking down the whole time I know it.
Mustard was just trying to create a vibe. Kendrick turned that vibe into a weapon. Mustard was just trying to make a beat. Kendrick turned that beat into a legacy. And that's the power of vision. That's the power of strategy. That's the power of seeing possibilities that nobody else can see. Your boy out. And remember, the next time you're dancing to a song, make sure you know what you're celebrating, because you might be dancing to your own defeat. Peace.